Hi, I'm Sheilaa Hite, world-class astrologer, tarot master, spellcaster, medium, and all-around magical being. And I'm speaking to you today from one of my favorite places in the world, Paris. So I'll be here for a while, and this is the first transmission about our astrological week. So here goes. This week is going to be focused on one or two particular items. So it'll be a little slow start for the week, but this is good for prepping for the end of the week when things really pick up and become way more intense. So prepping, meditation is important. And meditation doesn't necessarily mean sitting in a lotus position and going Om. It is minding how you think, checking in on your feelings, knowing what you are either reacting to or responding to. Those are two different things. It is always better to respond. Reacting means that you've given your power away. This is a week when you really need to pay attention to who's running your show. Because as we move through the week, we will get to Friday, and the planet Mercury, the planet of communication, the planet of how we make ourselves understood and how we understand other people and other things. Mercury is going to be together with, we call it conjunct, with the planet Neptune. This is going to be a great aspect for writing that novel you were thinking of writing, for saying those prayers you were thinking of saying, for connecting with the divinity you were thinking of connecting with, and for going deep inside and connecting with the essence of who you are, with the very essence and the importance of who you and your soul are. This is great. This is also not a good week to sign important papers. Please, if you can help it, put it off until the following week, because Neptune is involved. And Neptune doesn't always show us the truth. Neptune very often shows us something rosy, which may or may not be the truth, and which can often, if we pay no attention to it, become a costly venture. So the next thing that happens is on Saturday, we have Mars, the planet of how we do things, the planet of how we get things done, the planet of sometimes aggression, certainly the planet of motors, the planet of how action happens, is going to be making a square, an abrasive aspect to the planet Uranus, the planet of, oh my God, anything can happen, and wow, I think it just did. So when Mars, which can be explosive, comes to an abrasive point with Uranus, which can be like an earthquake or anything can happen, anything can happen. You are not totally out of control. You have to be mindful. Now, by the time we get there on Saturday, you will have had several days to practice being mindful, being grounded, and saying, about everything. Not, oh, but So with Mars square Uranus, things can happen. There can be moments of total rebelliousness. There can be the need or the thinking that you need to be all on your own with nobody telling you what to do. Sometimes we have to acknowledge that the stop sign and the red light are there for a purpose, and we need to follow instructions. Stop at the stop sign until it's time to go, and stop at the red light until the light changes and you know it's safe to go. Most of the time in our lives, we have no trouble complying. With a Mars square Uranus aspect, there may be trouble. This is where you really need to be very, very clear on, okay, am I grounded? Am I centered? What is my agenda here? Not what is my ego's agenda, because your ego's agenda is very rarely your agenda. So pay attention to what's going on and go with it. Then we have on the same day, Mercury again, how we communicate, is going into the sign of Aries. Aries is the sign of Mars. Aries, we already saw Mars. Mars is square Uranus. Now Mercury, the way we think, is going to go into the sign of Aries, which is ruled by Mars. So the way you think, which is Aries, which is ruled by Mars, Mars is square Uranus, you really do not want to go off on some limb and with a saw and start sawing, because you will be the one who winds up down on the ground with the sawed off limb. What you need to do, watch how you think. Pay attention to what you think. Pay attention to whether your thoughts are your feelings or your feelings are your thoughts. They are not the same. This is a great week to grow in spirit, to throw off old karma, or a not so great week, but it can happen, where you pile on more karma and you don't grow, but you regress. And it all comes down to, are you grounded? Are you acting before you think? Are you acting, period? Why not stay in the moment and decide what your actions need to be? And then on Sunday, we have a glorious new moon in Pisces. The new moon is always a great time, I think, for making plans, for planting seeds, for deciding what you want to do, and then taking the small steps that will lead to bigger steps to do the thing you want to do. And in Pisces, dream, dream, dream. Also, put something into it, put some action to it, and begin making some of those dreams or some parts of those dreams come true by taking action, by being a person who is acting and therefore activating your dream. So it's going to be a great week, a great week. Most of it is, I will say it again, most of it is about practicing being centered and grounded. And no matter what happens, is your response. You do not want to react. You want to pay attention to what is being said and what you're thinking and how you're about to say something. If you do, you won't come out the other end of a tornado, hurricane, flood, major disaster, all at once. So look forward to your full moon. Look forward rather to your new moon. Please remember to make moon water. Moon water, take a cup of your choice. I didn't bring my moon water cup with me, but this is a cup and it's going to serve as my moon water cup. Fill it with water. Cover it so that critters don't get into it. Put it where it can get the rays of the moon. And I use the windowsill. Put it anywhere you can get the rays of the moon. And if you don't have a place where you think you get the rays of the moon, the rays will come through the wall. Put it where you know the moon's rays would come in. Leave it there until 3 days, 2 or 3 days after the new moon. So since the new moon is Sunday, leave it there until Tuesday or Wednesday, and then sip from it, or use it in your cooking, or pour some in your bath water, and plants love it. So on that note, I say to you, so long for this week. Have a great, wonderful, wondrous week, and bye.